Alright, hey everybody, hope you all have a great day so far. Mine's been okay. Still feeling a bit sick, but I wanted to do some programming, so I thought why not stream anyway. So hopefully my voice will keep up. It's not too bad right now, so I think I'll be okay. Alright, so let's just get into it. We're going to work more on the 2D lights today, trying to have better shadow shapes or shadow mesh shapes, because right now we assume that every shadow has 4 vertices, and that's not always true, and that leads to some weird issues. Like here, when the shadow hits the bounds on opposite ends, we actually need 4 corners because it needs to go up to this corner of the bounds and over here, down like that. So that's one thing that we're going to try to fix today. There's also, like here, it'd need 5. And there is even a way that it would only need 3, but I'm not sure if I can demonstrate it. Oh, we still have a weird issue like that. Maybe that will get fixed. I think you could have 3. Okay, maybe that is the issue, because I think here you'd have 3 because it would... Oh no, that's still 4. Yeah, for some reason I think it's culling this side. But yeah, we'll fix all those possibilities. It's not consistent, but yeah. Oops, I forgot to plug in this. 1 second. Alright, okay, so we have, I don't know if I need to keep all these debug lines, so I'll close that. Yeah, we don't, well, I might as well keep this for now. Alright, so right away I'm going to go ahead and separate this out into a separate function. So let's extract to add, I guess add vertices. So that pass all the points, yeah, because I think it will need all 4. And I'll move this down to the bottom. Okay, so again, this 4 vertices happens when point A, B are both completely in the bounds, and then hit B and hit A hit the same side. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, so we don't even really care if these are corners either. So it'd be something like this. Okay, let's change this to vertex start. Okay, so if A... Maybe we should have some helper functions here, because we basically want to check if the horizontal side is 0 and vertex side is 0. And that means that it's completely inside the bounds, it's not touching on any side. Maybe I already have a... Oh yeah, I already have this is in bounds helper function, so might as well use that. And B is in bounds, and so hit A. Okay, let's flip these actually. Okay, and these hit points should always be on some bound, just because the shadow cast lines go all the way to the edge of the space, just by definition. So, and again, this happens when the horizontal side equals hit B horizontal side, or they have the same vertical side, I think. Okay, so let's just leave this, and so right now we'll only create vertices if this is true, and I kind of want to just see what meshes we actually create to see if I maybe am missing some possibilities. Didn't start. Okay, well that is not true at all. This one works. But yeah, when it gets up to this point, it should stop creating something. And it's interesting that it kind of... Oh, I think I know the issue there. So, okay, so we need to clear this even if the shadow vertice count is 0. Because of course we want to have an empty mesh if there's nothing created. And I think that's why sometimes the mask would stick around even if it wasn't in a valid position anymore. Yeah, so clearly sometimes it works correctly, but okay, so let's take a look here. This point, okay, so the horizontal is 0 and the horizontal is 0 here for A and B, so maybe that's the issue. So I guess we got to make sure that they can't be 0, but they have to be equal. Okay, yeah, so the horizontal, yeah, they're equal but not 0. Okay, but I think we need to separate this into another function. It's getting too long. So is for vert shadow. And I guess we'll have to pass all the points again. So yeah, for this, yeah, of course the A is in bounds and B is in bounds. So if hit A dot horizontal side does not equal 0, then we want to return hit A horizontal side equals hit B horizontal side. Same thing here. And then I guess if none of those are true, then we return false at the end. Okay. So I think that might, yeah, because if it's not 0, then they have to be equal. So I think this should be fine. Okay, well no. Oh yeah, there we go. And then the moment that we move down too much, that shadow would move to this side of the bounds, it stops, which is right. Okay. So then else if, I guess the next logical step is to do 5 vertice shadow. And let's see, what would be the the conditions for this. So again, if we look back here, oh, it's not going to let me because I have to return something. Alright, so be something. Okay, well, for some reason it's saying that's a 4 vertice. Oh, well, no, that's right, because although I don't know why this one isn't rendering, but hopefully that will fix itself. So yeah, basically this should be a 5 vertice shadow because here it hits this side, and then this hits a corresponding vertical side. So I guess, or the horizontal and vertical. So I guess it's always a 5 point if one of the shadows hits a horizontal and the other shadow hits a vertical. I did it backwards again. Trying to see if there's any way that it could hit like these two and then have to fill up this whole part of the bounds. I don't know if that's ever a possibility. Actually, I guess if there was a really long collider that went through right here. Oh no, that one couldn't happen because the light's always in the middle, so it'd have to go like this. Yeah, so I don't think that a shadow would ever have 7 points, so I think that we're safe just going a simple, excuse me, simple test here to just see if they're on, one's on a vertical and one's on horizontal. So again, we need to test if A and B are in bounds. And then okay, so hit A horizontal side does not equal 0, and hit B horizontal side does not equal 0. Then we return true. Oh wait, it's hit B dot vertical side does not equal 0. I think that's all we have to do. The only other possibility is if these are both corners, but then it probably would have gotten picked up by 4 vertice shadow already. So yeah, let's see if this works. Oh well, no, of course it won't, because we don't actually create or fill in the vertices here. Okay, so yeah, we have shadow vertices A, B, and then we gotta add the corner, which would happen in between the hit vertices. So let's so we have the bound radius. We should probably have an array of, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, because we gotta be able to figure out the corner based on the vertical sides. Not sure if there's going to be an easy mathematical way to map those. So corners equals new. I guess how we'll do it, start with the bottom left because that's 0, 0. Or I guess it's negative bound radius. And then the next one, I guess I'll go clockwise. So that'd be negative bound radius x, and then positive bound radius y, and then both positive, and then positive x, and negative y. Okay, so let's have a helper function here. So maybe get a corner. Oops, I did that wrong, didn't I? Should be private vector 2 get corner. So what would be the easiest way to do this? Well, actually what you need to do is, given two sides, you'd want to find the corner in between them as like an index, and then you could just rotate clockwise as needed. So yeah, let's return integer. Yeah, this should be fine. We could even store like a corner index and a point if it's in a corner, but that might be a little overkill. We'll see how often we need to test for corners when we start handling that code. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm gonna just have to do a bunch of if-else statements here. So if A horizontal side is positive, okay, well let's start with 0. So that would be vertical side is at the bottom, so -1, and B dot horizontal side is -1, then we return 0. So I guess I could actually just do if else, couldn't I? Or wait, that's just test the vertical side first and then the horizontal side. Or yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. Actually, yeah, I think I need to do it like this. And then if A horizontal side is -1 and B vertical side is +1, then it's the top left, which is at position 1. Okay, now we go back to vertical side. On the side again. Okay, and then anything else, there's no corner between them. Yes, missed an equal sign there. I wonder if there's a better way to do it, but okay, so we need to get the corner between the hit A and hit B. vector 2, corner position. Let's do something like that. Okay, so what order do I want to put these in? I guess we'll just continue. I think weirdly I'm winding these counterclockwise because that's how I thought that Unity handled it. Should I? Maybe I should switch all that up. Because Unity actually shows things clockwise, so let's make everything in order, or not in order. I'm sorry. Consistent, I should do everything clockwise. Okay, so here, yeah, we start top left, and we go bottom left, and that's counterclockwise, so we want to actually go bottom left to top left. Yeah, so basically we'll just flip all these, okay. And bottom right to bottom left. Oh, that's not right, is it? Bottom right. No, that is correct. And then top right to bottom right is clockwise, and top left to top right is clockwise. Okay, so now since all these A and B are now clockwise, the only other thing that I think is affected by that is this is triangle clockwise. So we actually need to check if this is greater than 0, because it'd be reversed. And then this code down here, still clockwise, is A, B, hit A. So yeah, we go from A to B to hit B, and then A, hit B, hit A. So I guess I'll just copy these like this. So we got a shadow, vertices. We'd add the corner. Okay, so now it goes A, B, hit B, so that's the same. And then A, hit B, corner, which is there, and then A, corner, hit A. So yeah, I just need to add one more triangle. Okay, so let's try this out. Hopefully when I went and switch everything to clockwise there, I didn't leave anything out. Okay, so we got an error actually. Okay, so that must have returned a -1. Oh, but yeah, this is actually backwards. So yeah, that's the issue here. This should be, because hit B comes first in the edge of the vertices. Oh, I always forget. Yeah, I should close that before you edit scripts, because Unity is a little weird otherwise. Okay, but I am relieved to see that it still is showing the shadow. Okay, but yeah, it's not doing, like, this should be a 5 vertice shadow right there, but obviously it's not showing up. Which is weird because before it threw an error. That's 4. There's a 5 one. Why does it work this side?
there's obviously something going on that's a little weird. Okay, there's a 5.1. Like, why does it stop? Okay, let's see. Something is not right with this is triangle clockwise, so I'm just going to see if this is the problem. Because like it's not drawing meshes sometimes, even though it obviously should. Okay, well no, even when I remove that, it still has an issue. So this shouldn't ever return that, or, oh, well, actually it would, because if we're going to draw, if we are drawing in counterclockwise, then this would actually mess up. So I'm just going to put in a temporary thing here until we fix the is clockwise. Greater than equal to 0. Alright, I should have closed that. Okay, well it's still not showing that top, which is a bit weird to me. Okay, so let's actually, I want to see why that, I think we need to fix that issue before we go on, because it's not, I don't think it has anything to do with the vertice count code I'm trying to implement. Although now it is showing that. So maybe that issue was that that specific triangle was now everything is working fine. Okay, so I guess it was my vertice counting code. Yeah, I see it's like, okay, right there, there's some issue. Maybe because that's a corner case, it seems to be like right on the edge. Okay, maybe we should tackle those before we move on to make sure this core code is working. Well, there are some weird things. Like I thought here, if the direction is straight up or down, can have an issue. So for example, let's see, this would just be completely different. So if direction dot x is approximately 0. Oops, come on. Then we know that it's only going to hit vertical sides, obviously, and it will only hit it if the point is in the bounds. Similarly, if, well, it's not so important really if the y direction is 0, because we don't have any divide by zeros, but I mean, might as well. Okay, otherwise we just have this normal code. Okay, so here the slope is infinite, obviously, because it just goes vertical, and so we know it only hits this side, so let's see. So if direction dot y is greater than 0, I guess we also need to test if they're both, like if it's a 0 direction, which would happen if the point is at 0, 0. I mean, that's not the issue we were having. But I don't know how we would handle that. I guess in this code it would just think it's pointing straight up, which I guess is okay. So if direction y is greater than or equal to 0, then we return make point. Let's see. I guess the point x will never change. And then the point y would just be the bound radius y. Similarly here. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty simple. And then we just gotta reverse this. Because this way the slope is 0, so it's a horizontal line. And so the y position will never change, but the horizontal position would just be either on the left or right side. Okay, so I wonder if that has something to do with that issue, because I noticed that it seemed to happen right on the edge of the collider. So let's zoom in and just inch it. Okay, it seems to be okay. So I guess it'd be 1. Then if I move this to -1. Okay, so I think that did fix that one issue.
La Samba de Agua, written by Koji Kondo from the Super Mario Bros. 3 video game, performed by Mustang.
Is there any other problems I see? Trying to reproduce that weird thing where like it would start ignoring, like if I was right here it would for some reason ignore the top, but it seems not to be doing that anymore. Alright, so if I add, okay, that was using this code, so if I add this back in, what happens? Will be some weird things because obviously it's only going to draw 4 and 5 vertices, shadows. Okay, so it's skipping this top one. Oh, the reason is because this B is out of bounds, actually. Because this would actually be 1, 2. Okay, well it's actually a 4 vertices, so maybe I don't care if it's out of bounds, really. Yeah, I don't think I do. I think the reason that I put that in there originally was because I thought that might be part of the when we might need a 3 vertice shadow. But I think that only actually happens if the hit and the actual point are on the same position. Still not showing this one. So this goes to here, here, and here. So that's a 5.1. So yeah, it should show that actually. this is a normal 4. That's a 5. Maybe also this needs to be commented out. Still, that doesn't seem to make much difference. So what is going on? This should be something like 1 point A, hit A. It seems to flip. So obviously something's going wrong. So A, hit A. Is it hitting the corner? Oh no, because then it would just be like messed up at one specific point. So hit A is right here, and then corner. Okay, and B and hit B are in the same. Maybe that has something to do with it. I'm trying to, well actually, so let's look at this. So A, hit A, corner. And here B and hit B are actually in different positions, but it still doesn't work. It should be something like this. So that should be a 5 vertice. Maybe it's because maybe it has something to do with this. Let's make sure. Is this all clockwise from the interior? Should it be? Now that I think about it, should these segments be clockwise based on the interior of the collider or from the light's perspective? Probably the light's perspective, so like the light is on the outside. Clockwise would actually be, oh no, it's still bottom left. No, that's counterclockwise, so it should be top left to bottom left. Okay, so maybe these were in the right spot before. Although that would, so let's see, points are in clockwise order from the light perspective. So the light is outside. So here's on the left. So if the light is on the left of this segment, then it would be clockwise would be top to bottom. And then here's the bottom, so clockwise would be left to right. Here's the right side, clockwise, right, or bottom to top. It's going around like this. And then top or above, clockwise is this way, so it goes right to left. So that's right, but now I think these won't make sense anymore, will they? So the light is out here. Goes, yeah, because it actually should go A. Okay, so they're in clockwise from the light's perspective, but the actual triangles need to be clockwise, like from their own perspective. So it actually should be A, hit B, B, A. So yeah, I have this all. I think I can keep this pattern. So here it's A, hit A, corner, B, or hit B, and then B. Okay, and this is all fine still. Okay, and then if we want to get the corner between the two, it should go hit A to B. Okay, so I think this was reversed, maybe. So let's see if this starts working better. I have to pull out my pen and paper pretty soon here. Okay, so this still works. Okay, so this is good. We have a 5-point collider right here, or 5-point shadow, I should say. Okay, so still having a little issue. This is a 4-point, and then I move it up. And yeah, this is a 3-point. So yeah, the 3-point here, but it's being treated as a 4-point, which I guess is okay. We can go back and fix that later maybe, but because there's just let's see, so from here I got A, but A is clamped to the bounds. So A and hit A are at the same position, and then hit B, then B. I guess that's the time it would be a 3-point collider, as if A and hit A or B and hit B are in the same position. But how come this, I mean, there's still some problem because this 5-point collider is not being formed. Okay, so let's see. We've got, so clockwise here, so this should be A, and then hit A, and then corner, and then hit B and B, so check. So maybe the corner index is returning wrong, so let's see. Hit A is -1, and hit B is -1, so let's see if I have a possibility of that. Yeah, it should return 0. Oh yeah, well the vertical side is -1 and the horizontal side, so that is still right, but yeah, what could be happening here? Because I follow the code. I did this wrong, so this is the right side, so it should be bottom right, then top right. Which, that's how it goes. And then, unless there's some, well, it can't be a problem with the ray casting, because when we take off all this code to try and do different shaped shadows, everything still works fine, so I'm confident that the ray casting is fine. So this should be A, hit B, hit B, and then the corner. So when it tests hit A and hit B, that must be the problem somewhere in that code. Okay, let's have a nice 2-string. I guess I'll have the position. And we'll pass it position, horizontal side, vertical side. So what I want to do is that if the corner is less than 0, we'll want to print out both of these hit points, and we can see what's going on. Debug log string format invalid corner hit A, hit B. Okay, let's see what this prints out. Is the issue having to do with this as well? Well, could be. So let's turn this back on. Because yeah, I don't want to debug for triangles that we're going to just get rid of anyway. I might need to switch the way that's, or the, yeah, see now it's throwing out the wrong winding, so I need to switch this back to negative. Yeah, so now it's back to working how it was before. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Let's get rid of this debug log. I don't need it right now. Okay, so that is interesting to me because okay, well, this is actually okay, no. Yeah, this is still a 5 point, but then I'm not getting any logs, so that tells me that the problem is maybe actually in this code. Oh yeah, this is kind of, I've skipped one. So yeah, if horizontal side does not equal 0 and vertical side does not equal 0, and then I also need to test the other possibility, or the symmetric possibility. Oh yeah, that was, I guess I just went a little, forgot to code in that other side of it. But that's okay, we fixed a lot of winding issues, so, oops. Okay, so now if the vertical side does not equal 0 and the horizontal side does not equal 0. So now that seems to work. Of course, we still have 6 points to worry about. But yeah, I guess that was the only issue. So yeah, I was chasing the wrong problem the whole time. But I understand the code well now, so I feel like it was a complete waste of time. Keep the light far enough away so that it doesn't trigger the 6 point, where see everything works perfect. Okay, so the last one is 5 vertices shadow, or 6 vertices, I mean. And this would happen if hit A and hit B are opposite horizontally and vertically. So yeah, if hit A so that's actually more like this one. Then we want to test if they're opposites. Okay, so actually I don't think this can ever happen, so I'm gonna take it out. guess we don't really even need a Boolean because I think this is the only other possibility. I mean, we don't need this test. Well, let's go ahead and leave it in case. I mean, there are 3 points, but right now they're being handled fine as 4 points. I'm actually surprised that Unity is not complaining that these two vertices are on top of each other and there's basically a 0 area triangle. So A, B, hit A, hit B. Alright, so this corner between function won't really work too well. But we don't actually need that. Because how it would work is we'd see if... So the way this works is that the light is either above or below point A. Can it be diagonal? Oh, actually, yeah, it can, actually. I'm trying to think of... Because basically we need to see if the shadow is above or below the light, so we kind of need to know... I guess how we would check that... Because, let's see here. We don't have any diagonal lines right now, but say if a line like went here, and then the light was still below point A, but then point A could be below the light, but then the line is still above it. Trying to figure out how we would know that. Well, does B... Maybe we just have to go by B. No, because we can just switch it around that A is above the light, but then B is below the light, but it's still... The shadow still goes upwards. I guess how we really need to just know the position of the line at x or y equals 0, depending on if the hits are on the horizontal or the vertical side. Do we want to... So this is the code that actually gets the collision, or finds the line equation. Don't really want to have to reproduce this code just to find its position at x equals 0, but oh, well, no, there's an easier way. All we have to do is see if hit A is above hit B, or hit A is above hit A. Or wait, sorry, if hit A is above A. Yeah. So, okay, so if hit A is on the horizontal side, again, corners are going to complicate this, aren't they? Well, no, because this code makes sure that it's not a corner, because Oh, well, no, it doesn't actually. Maybe this code should compute the corner index that we start with. Because it's going to be doing a lot of this anyway. Could kind of do that here as well, but maybe I'll do that as well, because actually the corner matters here. So really I can just check if get corner between, maybe I don't even need to have this on a separate function now I think about it. We'll just start at -1. Oops. I don't know what I did that. Seems like that module is a little buggy. Okay, so if hit A, I guess we still should test this because yeah, there are corners that we have to worry about. Although wait, if either one of these is corner, I just won't worry about them for now. So we want to turn. Okay, similarly here. So yeah, if hit A, if this is true, then we'll be able to compute the corner index. Okay, so that we know that both of the hits are on the horizontal side, so that means the shadow is either going to be on the top or bottom half, or is either going to be covering up the entire top or bottom edge of the border. So that means the first corner is either going to be corner top left if it's top, because it's should it be clockwise here? Yes, it should be clockwise. And then on the bottom it would be bottom right. And so we figure out if it's covering the top or bottom if hit position Y is less than hit A position Y. Then corner index is the top left, which is position 1. And otherwise it's position 3. Okay, so here the vertical sides are opposites, which means that the shadow is either going to cover the entire left or right side of the bounds. So we gotta do something similar here, except with the, oops, I didn't mean to cut, with the X coordinates. So if the A point is more to the left than the hit position, that means it's going to cover up the right side, and that starts clockwise at top right, which is 2. Otherwise, it'll cover the left side, and that is clockwise starts at bottom left, which is corner 0. And we'll start setting that to -1 there, and now we can turn true if corner index is greater than or equal to 0. just zoom out, corner, index. Because I don't really need to have that separate vector variable for this. Okay, so similarly here, so it'd be A, then hit A, then corner 1, then corner 2, then hit B, then B. And corner 1 is just the index that we're given. And since I added the corners in clockwise order, the next one is corners, corner index plus 1, and we got to make sure to loop around using the modulo operator, which is just an easy way to, for example, if corner index is 3, which is the bottom right, then the next one clockwise is the bottom left, and that's index 0. So if we add 1, it would go up to 4, which is out of bounds, so we need to get the remainder when you divide by 4, which would give us 0. And so that's just kind of an easy way in programming to implement cycles. We see that's what this modulo operator does. It's basically the remainder. Okay, so now we just need to add one more triangle here, which goes from A to hit B to B. And I think we're good. This should take care of all possibilities. I mean, we can still implement like 3 vertices if we want to try and be... Oops, but this does not actually work. Oh no, we're getting this issue again. Oh right, this should actually be 4 and 5, not 5 and 6. Still some problems, but okay, so that is weird. At this point, nothing shows. I wonder why. Is it because they're at corners? I don't know. So here it's still a 4 point. You can just here. I should move it down to the bottom so we can see the texture better. So here it's still 4 point. Let's get rid of that. It goes to 6 point right there. And you can actually, yeah, you can see the geometry up there change. And it's working all the way. Yeah, then when it goes inside, it obviously breaks. But for some reason on the top, it was not working. Okay, I don't know, maybe I was just looking at it wrong, but it seems to be fine now. Okay, so let's look at the left side, or this is the right side actually. So yeah, that's a 6 vertice. So right there it stops. It actually stops like... Okay, so actually, yeah, for a little bit there, it's actually a 5 vertice. And so I guess I messed up my 5 vertice code. But I'll go back and fix that. Yeah, because at one point, like right here, it would be 5 vertices, but then when it moves down to before it starts working again. Okay, so let's see if I can figure that out real quick. All I did was copy the code. Let's see. So yeah, it's as if. Oh, this shouldn't be A, this should be hit A and hit B, okay. I copied the code, but then it changed the variables that are actually sent to that function. Yeah, so that didn't work because A and B are almost always just 0, 0 because they're inside the collider. Okay, yeah, looks like it's all perfect. Now we get shadows that are always bounded, and we can see because here it stops on the bound of its quadrant of the texture. Never any issues. Okay, so let's to look in the profiler and see if my code is taking a lot of time. No. So I think these dips have to do with the garbage collection. And that's because in my code I create a new array every frame, which obviously isn't a great idea. And even here the renders are really quick because we're only rendering one light. And this yellow part is just waiting for the frame rate. So my code is here, but we can see that the code to generate this mesh doesn't even show up. And this is the camera code to actually render this texture, and then the blit code would combine a bunch of textures together, and it's also very small. Although, I still don't know why the camera render takes a little bit longer to render the texture out instead of what's actually rendering to the screen. But yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, so this code seems to be good, and there's still some more stuff we can add. So do that. This is still there because we need to. We'll have to look at that. So yeah, we haven't dealt with corners. We did do vertical and horizontal lines. So another thing we can do is handle collapsed shadows when A is hit A or B is hit B. And so basically it would be any of these shadows except we basically remove one vertex because A and hit A are the same, so this would become a 3 vertex, this would become a 4, and this would become a 5. Luckily we can still just use the same code here. We would just need to check inside if it should combine A and hit B, or A and hit A, or B and hit B. So I don't know what the easiest way to, or how that would be easiest handled, most easily handled. We could think about that. Obviously everything works now, but that would remove some extra triangles. And I think it's that issue is the reason why we have to check both triangles here. Although this is backwards now, isn't it? That's why, because this should actually go that should go A, hit B. And then the second triangle, excuse me, is A, hit B, and then B. And the reason I have to test this twice is because if A equals hit B, then this would return false, I think. And so I think I should flip this again. I was thinking that across Z should be positive. But let me make sure I have my... Okay, so no, I guess it still is negative. Okay, good. So one easy way, I guess, to do this would be we would see if A equals hit B, then we would, or sorry, I keep just saying that. If A equals hit A, where is that code again? Then we would test the second triangle. Although I don't think it's possible that A can equal hit A and B can equal hit B, so yeah, we don't have to test that. Let's... And the way we could actually do that... Oh, well, no, that's not true. I was going to say if A is on a border, then we know that it equals hit A, but not necessarily. Well, we can worry about that later. What I actually wanted to do is see if we can start making meshes for all 16 lights real quick. Which I think that might be as easy as just adding 16 here. Although it seems like... Well, no, it is working, it's just it's hard to see because that one collider is so small. Okay, so let's add in those other colliders. And maybe change this one to be its normal size again. Okay, so I need to add those colliders back into here. That should be it. And now if I play... Okay, this collider is inside, that's why it's not showing up. Okay, right there is a problem. And I think that's because the collider is exactly in the middle, and so both of them are touching the sides. So what would that be? That would be actually hit A equals hit B and hit, or hit A equals hit A and A equals hit A and B equals hit B. So yeah, I guess I will need to handle that possibility. Handle when A equals hit A and B equals hit B. Okay, but anyway. And again, we can kind of see these little artifacts, and that's because of rounding errors. So yeah, we will need to handle that at some point. But yeah, everything seems to work with multiple lights. What's going on here? Maybe it's because it's inside. Oh no, it's not. Oh, I'm moving the sprite and not the actual light. Oh, what's going on? Huh. That's weird. Is it just this collider? I've never seen something do that. No. Maybe this one is wound differently. Okay, so let's see. Light below and to the right of a platform. Huh, that's weird because it doesn't happen here, but it's only when you pass to the other side. So let's see, what is... it's hard to tell with all these lights. Obviously it still works fine with multiple lights, that's not what's causing it. So it's right here. So what should happen... So clockwise from the light would be A. So A equals hit A, and then B equals hit B. But it should... So it's basically a 6. Okay, so I think the reason is it's seeing it as... Oh, but why is it cutting out this part? Maybe it's going to the wrong corner or something? I don't know. I'll need to figure that one out. Oh, but yeah, I've gone pretty way over, so... Thanks everybody for coming out. Sorry I have a little scatterbrain today, still not at 100%, but I feel like we still got pretty good. Did pretty well with progress, so it's fine. Yeah, so we still have a few weird bugs to figure out, and then handling these special cases. And then we'll have to get back into messing with the actual shader, but that part should be easy. Because, yeah, of course, the final hope is that we'll be able to render all 4 quadrants at once, instead of, because right now we render one light at a time and then combine them into all at once into one big texture, but we won't need to do that. And that should bring down the number of draw calls we do by, well, by 4 at this point, but it goes up the more lights you have, which will really improve performance. But I guess that'll be it for me. Thanks again everybody for coming by and watching. I do appreciate it. If you missed this stream or any previous one and you want to catch up, I upload them all to YouTube, so you can check out my channel from my description or typing !YouTube in chat. I also have a Discord channel if you're interested in chatting with me. Just type Discord or !Discord in chat, or look at my channel description. And I should be live tomorrow at about 8:30 Eastern, and we'll continue working on this project. So again, thanks again everybody for watching, and I hope you have a great night. Bye bye.